Get this. Just prior to Christmas, the Biden administration trotted out singing, kinda dancing nurses to flout the rules that Biden imposes on others, and of course using stolen tax cash to work with PBS to wish folks a scary medical Christmas. Remember, you might have been prevented from singing in church, but it's okay to sing in the tax-funded White House as long as you worship government. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Yeah, people I know warned me about this. Almost in unison, a couple friends said what I will paraphrase for you now. Essentially, they said, don't watch this until after Christmas because it'll spoil the whole holiday for you. And I took their advice, and I now wish that I had waited a lot longer before burning my retinas on this childish display of White House doublethink, privilege, extravagance, and outright arrogance. How disconnected can politicians be, one might ask? This disconnected. As Americans tried to handle their travel plans and to handle authoritarian Biden jab and mask mandates, as politicians pilfered their pockets, making it harder for them to give their loved ones what they hoped to give them for Christmas or for life overall, the New York Post's Callie Patterson reports that the Bidenistas used tax-fed propaganda platform PBS to debase the already off-putting political world in a whole new way. They engaged a gaggle of Connecticut nurses to sing and kind of dance with treble muffling masks. Of course, those are things that Biden often forgets to wear, perhaps because of the acoustics problem. He's very sensitive to that, perhaps. And the gotta be jabbed to get in backup singers were shuffling and swinging behind the lead singers as they all wore their blue scrubs. Right there in the very building where great luminaries such as Jeffrey Epstein and disgraced former House Speaker Dennis Hastert have strolled. Yes, the Northwell Health Nurse Choir paraded around the East Room of the White House for over 2 minutes as multiple cameras, including, by the way, a crane-mounted cam and one that stylishly moved from behind a holiday tree, flashed their dynamic action angles. And as the director cut to a horizontal split screen of a hospital hallway where 2 columns of med workers broke the vaunted magical 6-foot barrier and high-fived someone in a mask running a weird gauntlet. And of course, they did it as one can zoomed out from a painting of George Washington to show the stomach-turning line dance spectacle. And as Dr. Jill Biden approvingly looked on in her pastel pink suit dress. I don't even know what you would call that Biden show with PBS, but it was sad. It was very sad and troubling. This might be one of the dumbest and most cynical loads of propagandistic bilge any White House team has spewed since Anthony Droplets Fauci most recently set foot in that place. And Patterson notes that a lot of American serfs, just like us, felt much like we did. Quote, "So why did they ever ban people from singing in church?" tweeted conservative commentator Cassie Dillon, referring to past guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that recommended people avoid singing indoors, including in houses of worship. End quote. Well, I guess if one is in the White House, it's a different story. It just depends on whom or what one worships, God or the God of the state. Continuing, quote, "I cannot but marvel at how out of touch this administration is," journalist Walker Bragman wrote, end quote. And, quote, I'm amused by the idea that wearing a mask is very important unless you're belting out a solo, Washington Examiner reporter Jerry Dunleavy posted. End quote. Patterson also noted that these singing, sorta dancing, kinda masked, kinda not masked healthcare employees are part of a diminishing staff. A number of people that has actually decreased because Northwell Health recently fired 1,400 employees for, yeah, you got it, not kowtowing to the mRNA injection mandate. So, what is one to do with all of this? What can one do once having seen this? Well, certainly, you can't unsee it, but perhaps self-delusion could be possible. Perhaps upon having this dung pile, song and dance thrown into a person's face, perhaps that stricken American tax slave can pretend that it's beautiful and it smells like roses. Yeah, it's fun. It's like a routine on Dancing with the Stars. It's the propaganda paso doble. It's the Vers Viennese waltz. It's the ADE Allemande. It's the please make it stop and stop pushing me around tango. Yeah, that sounds a little better. Sorry for the frustration all, but I just have to say I looked. And now I think maybe I shouldn't have. Now I've been exposed to even more truth. And even with the bows and the tax-funded tinsel, that truth isn't pretty. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, I'll see you in the comments section. We'll see you on Rumble as well. Rumble doesn't censor. Merry Christmas after the fact and Happy New Year coming up. I hope you and yours are enjoying this lovely time together and you have many hopes for the future. Find us at MRCTV.org. And of course, you can find us on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And I'm on Gab at Gardner Goldsmith on Gab, where of course they don't censor either. I am censored right now for the next 2 months on Facebook myself, but MRC TV is still going strong there, so find us there. For MRC TV, I won't be dancing with the White House team, that's for sure. I'll see you on the dance floor someplace else. I'm Gardner Goldsmith.